Kyousuke. It's been about 10 days since I first surrendered to the police. I'm back in lockup again. I haven't heard anything about Haru being arrested. For some reason, there were a few gifts for me. Among them were a few letters. They came from various senders. I was allowed to use a small amount of free time I had between interrogations for visitation. They do allow you to be refused, but there was something I wanted to check up on. I needed to see whether or not Miki-chan had managed to complete the job I gave him. I faced Tsubaki with a side smile. They give you up to 20 minutes for visitation, apparently. I wanted to make this quick. Being in Tsubaki's angelic presence made it hard to maintain my resolve. Oh, come on. You think I'd come to a place like this as a joke? That proof again. All this talk about believing in people and friends. Thinking back, she was the first one to let my cold heart fire. I'm a murderer. Yeah, I did. After I killed my foster father, so I avenged him. Pretty cool, huh? I gave a slight smile. I continued talking to prevent my smile from becoming awkward. Oh, yeah, and back when your brother was kidnapped. Tsubaki frowned. Now that I'm in this place, I guess I can just spill the beans. I wanted you guys to hurry up and get the heck out of that house. It must come as a shock to her. I didn't help you guys out of the goodness of my heart. I did it all for the money. Tsubaki shook for a moment, then spoke. Is that so? That's good news. I see. That sounds wonderful. I guess being a good person does pay off in the end. Suddenly her expression clouded. Why? She gazed at me with eyes wet from tears. Oh, come on. Mao said it was because he's sorry. Since when did you doubt people? Yeah, I know. She's become a little more human. What are you going on about? She forced her quivering lips to move. A tear rolled down her cheek. How stupid is this girl? Does she not understand how the rest of the world is going to view her if she sticks up for me? What's wrong with you? Don't tell me you have a thing for me or something. Well, that's just too bad. I can't stand women like you. Suzuki fell silent as if time had just come to a halt. Don't ever come here again. I don't want to have to see your face. I nodded to the guard to signal the end of the interview. I'm sorry, Suzuki. Goodbye. Get along with your family. They allow correspondence through letters while on lockup. Naturally, the letters are inspected, but as long as you're just sending paper in an envelope, there usually isn't a problem. There was someone that I really needed to talk to. Dear YU, how are you? As I'm sure you are well aware, I've committed murder and am currently awaiting prosecution. I'd like to thank you for what you did back at the Sinnoh Corporation headquarters. If it wasn't for your act of bravery, I might very well be dead right now. However, there's something I wish to ask of you. Could you please look after Usami Haru? You're an employee of the Sinnoh Corporation, and I hear your father's ability is such that people are even calling him successor to the late director Somei. As I mentioned that day on the rooftop, Usami Haru and I aren't actually dating, and I, at least, do not have any intention of ever doing so. Nevertheless, she's a poor girl with no one to turn to, even if, like me, isn't completely without sympathy. If she meets your fancy, go ahead and take good care of her. It may be a bit forward of a request, but please keep it in mind. Samejima Kyousuke. There we go. I'm sure an upstanding man like Eli will be able to make Haru happy. He sure has a strong financial base as well. It costs money to learn the violin, after all. I handed the letter written with my earnest wishes to the guard. Several days later, there was another request for a visit. Thinking back to Subiki's teary face was enough to crush any of my attempts to force a smile. I really didn't want to see her, but I had to meet with her at least once to make sure she never comes back.
兄さん、大丈夫?
Her voice was light-hearted, but her expression told a different tale. Oh, and what does a world-renowned athlete want with me?
構ってほしいから.
Her spoiled words reminded me of the world outside Waka.
ねえ兄さん、すごい人気者じゃない?
Man of the hour?
だって大魔王をやっつけたんでしょ? なんでこんなとこにいるの?
Beats me. Her confusion seems to be genuine.
今テレビじゃどこもかしこも兄さんのことやってる.
Cool.
のんちゃんなんか目じゃないくらい人気者だよ.
I see. Is that all you came to say? The gaze holding back Kanon's tears suddenly burst.
みんな兄さんの悪口言ってるんだよ.
She cried out in frustration.
兄さんがヤクザだとか、兄さんのお父さんのこととか、関係ないことまで持ち出して。
You're just telling the whole truth.
犯罪者の息子も犯罪者って。
I guess they're right, then.
だって兄さん目立つの大嫌いじゃない。
She sheds tears of pity for me. I want to thank her. But with the guard watching, I need to watch what I say. I must continue to live as the jerk who used Haru. Let me just say one thing, Kanon. I'm not your brother anymore. It's times like these that I feel it's a good thing that I handled my adoption. So I won't be seeing you anymore.
なんで?
Because I don't want to see you. If she gets involved with me, Kanon's popularity as a figure skater will suffer. My adoption may be void, but still, we have been siblings up until now. Don't come back. If you do, I'll just refuse your visit.
やだよ。
Stop being so selfish. After I shouted, the guard behind me gave a warning glance. Please, just don't come here anymore. I pleaded with her. You have a brighter life waiting for you. Come on. It's your job to get out there and give your audience something to gasp and cry about.
兄さん
Now go on. You really shouldn't be coming to a place like this. She muttered.
それで兄さんはいいの？
I nodded. And Kaon cried. She shook and trembled, racked with sadness. I should have paid her more attention while I still had the chance. She was still unstable, unable to become a full adult. If I could have another shot at life, I would love to give her the support that she needs.
私頑張るよ。
I signaled to the guard that the interview was over. On the same day as Kaon's visit, I received a letter. I could tell who the sender was by the eye-catchingly bad handwriting. Hey, Kyousuke-chan, baby. You really did it this time, didn't you? When you get to be as hard as me, you don't waste time with the interviews. So, yeah, you chose not to go. I mean, I bet if you saw my face, you'd just start falling like a baby anyway, wouldn't you? Now that it's come to this, I guess you can aim for the top of the world of crime. While you're in the pen, I'll push my way through the legit scene. We'll have that walk down on both sides, bro. Oh, yeah, I finally made Noriko mine. Seriously. No, man, seriously. I'm really being serious here, so come on, hurry up and get out of there, man. Oh. The letters at the end were more crooked than the rest. That's a pretty stupid joke, even for an idiot like him. Between the daily questionings, the constant trips from walk-up to the prosecution offices, and the numerous crime scene investigations, I was nearing the end of my rope. Being let outside in chains was really embarrassing. From what I could tell, they had yet to find any proof that could overturn my confession. My detention period should be over soon. I hear that things will get a little easier after that. Yet people still kept coming like some dam had broken. I was surprised when I saw who had visited me this time. But as things would have it, she was actually the one who sent the most letters. I decided to meet with her a single time, clueless as to what it was about. Shiratori. Never thought I'd see you here, Shiratori. Sent the most letters. She scowled. Well, whatever. So how's Takeda doing?
今2人でアパートを借りて一緒に暮らしてるわ。
I guess Tokyo didn't get any major charges filed against her. Alright, so what are you doing here exactly? We weren't even friends. Shiratori was hurt by that comment more than I thought she would be.
姉さんから伝言。
Okay.
一体いつあなたにお金を払えばいいの？
Money? Oh, right. I had said something about paying me back for the school and warehouse hostage crises. Tell her to wait until I get out. She can meet me then, cash in hand. She nodded, sulking.
あと
What?
クラシックの鑑賞会。ありがとう。
Huh?
付き合ってくれて。
Shiratori frowned and then the wall shielding her heart crumbled. It was pretty fun.
ありがとう。助けてくれて。
Her tears could almost burn a hole through that chrome plate between us.
あなたは怖い人たちから姉さんと私を助けてくれた。
Oh, well, the thing at the warehouse.
ありがとうってずっと言いたかった。
The sight of Shiratori's weeping profile was enough to switch my heart.
今まで言えなくてごめん。私いつもそうです。いつも思ったこと言えなくて、こんなことになるなんて。
She trode off, gritting through her regret. Maybe I've really misunderstood this girl. We probably would have been able to get along better if I just tried to be sincere with her. But still, I had once thought of using her. And not just her. I had thought of had actually used Kyousuke and Canon also. It's too late to correct the mistakes in my past. Alright, I get what you want to say. See you.
待って、聞いて。
She mustered all her courage to her eyes moistened with tears.
あのね、私。
Officer.
あなたのことが。
This interview is over. That's good for my CD. I could hear her sorrowful screams behind me. But at the moment, I just did not have the presence of mind to listen to Shiratori Miyazawa's confession of love. Oh, we hope they're out. Exactly 3 weeks later, I was finally given a formal indictment hearing. The statement read off by the chief detective mainly touched upon murder and weapons violation charges. Jury times followed after that. I was moved to an actual city jail as I awaited my trial. When the day finally arrived, I just watched over the proceedings with a detached mind. Perhaps because I had confessed with solid testimony, or perhaps because my lawyer was so meek, there wasn't much of a fight in the courtroom. The letters also suddenly stopped coming. During the course of the trial, I thought I might get a glimpse of Haru. But in the end, they never summoned her as a witness. I suppose that's a good thing, though. I would often read magazines or newspapers while I was in jail. I made sure to check the articles thoroughly. There was never any mention of Haru or an unidentified girl in any of the articles regarding my case. Before they took me in, I had asked Horibe to try to put pressure on the magazine editors to avoid such a thing. Maybe I'm seeing the results of that. Though I have to wonder why Horibe did what I asked when I don't have any sort of money or power to speak of. I lost track of the seasons as I awaited my sentence in jail. Summer came, autumn came, and winter came. We were woken up at 6:45 a.m. and was lights out at 9 o'clock p.m. I lived a life of strict rules. I wasn't able to get a bath every day, but I did get regular haircuts. I ended up looking like a monk with a crew cut. I looked so stupid that I think I lost the right to ever make fun of Haru again. Over time, I naturally picked up on prison slang and made a conversation with a number of my fellow inmates. The inmates that I spoke with ran the gamut. There were men from organized crime syndicates and charged with domestic violence, thieves, arsonists. I ended up completely avoiding the man who killed someone because of his drunk driving. Nearly a year passed after my arrest, yet I was still unsure of my ultimate fate. Upon arriving at the courtroom I had been to so many times before, I saw that the judge wore a more severe expression than usual. My sentence will be handed down today. My thoughts are purely on Haru. And after today, these thoughts will never again grace my mind. Everything is over now, set in stone. I I stumbled upon a certain article in an entertainment magazine. The artist known as Mishima Haruna has restarted activity. Now I have no more regrets. No, the court finds the defendant. So long, prison. Oh, okay. I'm gonna save this for next time. Sad. Bye. Oh, I'll actually read this here, and my bad, I didn't know the recording, but the camera was a little to the left, so it had a little bit of the background behind my green screen showing. That might have been annoying. Hello. Sai Kyousuke looked up at the sky. The golden February sunset stretched out above him. It had been 8 years since he last enjoyed the scenery, and at the time sheets of dark gray clouds had blanketed the heavens. Under those very clouds he had bid his sweetheart an eternal farewell as snow silently drifted through the air. It had been 8 years since their second parting. Suddenly Kyousuke's widespread legs snapped together in an involuntary attention. Having grown accustomed to prison life, they were now unsure if moving about without permission was acceptable. Kyousuke sighed and took a deep breath, his first breath in ages of air beyond the huge walls behind him. Fresh, clean air filled his lungs. The dry February atmosphere chilled his skin. But despite the chill, his past still warmed him even now. He allowed it to make his mind drift to the old days. He recalled days at school where he horsed around with his friends. He recalled days at home where he engaged in audacious negotiations with adults. He recalled humble days without so much as a smile or a laugh, all because he refused to stand out. Kyousuke was weak in those memories. He was a slave to money. He had been nothing but a boy, busy quaking in fear of his eye gonzo. Kyousuke looked to the sky once again. A few flakes of snow had begun to fall. The thought of snow gently falling onto their eyelashes painted in his memory a vision which pierced his heart with sadness even now. Yes, that girl. She was the one who had visited light upon this cold, dark, wayward path. The stupid promise they made as children had served as his only source of warmth. When they first made love and became one, Kyousuke was filled with an unmistakable sense of happiness. He closed his eyes. He took a series of deep breaths to put his emotions in check. Kyousuke shook off his old memories. I was going to save this for later, but it's actually not that long. There would be no relying on such heavenly repose. He opened his eyes. There was no one there. Even Kyousuke himself had wished for solitude. He decided he would walk the rest of the way on his own 2 legs. He had no destination in mind. He would wander like a lone wolf, keeping his immeasurable sadness hidden from the world buried deep in his heart. Just as he was about to drag his empty body forward, he spotted a pair of silhouettes in the direction he was walking. One big and one small. A parent and child, he supposed. They were heading down the road in his direction. A grim mood came over Kyousuke. Having been locked up in prison, it had been a long while since he had heard the voices of women or children. The pair were holding hands, singing nursery rhymes. Occasionally their time would be broken up by joyful laughter. Kyousuke directed his hollow eyes to the ground. He merely wished they'd hurry and go. However, the voices of that mother-daughter pair did not grow more distant. In fact, they came closer. Then, for whatever reason, they came to a stop right in front of Kyousuke. The voice belonged to a young girl. She looked up at Kyousuke with adorable wide eyes. The mother spoke with a flat voice. Her hair, which reached all the way to her ankles, tousled in the wind. At first, Kyousuke was at a loss for words. During his long period of imprisonment, he saw many a dream where he met her again. Each and every one afflicted him. He scolded himself for his weakness. But he always thought that if he did meet her again after getting out of there was something he had to say. He had rehearsed the one simple word over and over in his heart. Congratulations. In prison, Kyousuke had kept a treasure that he allowed no man to touch. It was a scrapbook. He pasted within its pages every article detailing the activities of Mishima Haruna that he could find. She had made a name for herself internationally, so it was only natural that her fame had reached the prison as well. The girl who had now bloomed into a beautiful woman addressed Kyousuke.
音楽がなくて寂しかったでしょう。
I had the Bach in my mind. She laughed in response. Kyousuke, however, did not. He could not laugh together as the son equals equal. One of them was a convicted murderer, the other was a famous violinist. Snow continued to fall as if to form a white wall between them. The scenery through the window of that rundown shack he once shared with his mother flashed through his mind. So, what do you want? She flinched at his harsh words. Nevertheless, he continued unaffected, intentionally choosing the iciest words possible. Didn't the police tell you anything? I was only...
もういいんです。
Haru interrupted.
もういいんです。
She repeated. Kyousuke scoffed. His white breath dissipated in the air above Haru's daughter's head. So why you helped you, did he? Yeah, she said with a
そうい
nod.
う申し出はありました。
Offered to? Though a bit confused, Kyousuke slapped on a vulgar grin. I see. Well, isn't that just great? I bet you owe all your
感謝し
current
てい
fame
ま
to
す。
him.
この子も可愛がってくれています。
So how old is she now? The answer to this question came from down
7
below.
つだよお父さん。
He almost repeated what she said aloud. Daddy? Time froze for Kyousuke. The entire world had disappeared, barring only the child who had just called him Daddy. His conviction deepened. She resembled him. She had his mouth, his jaws, his eyes. Don't lie to me, he said, his voice shaking.
間違いがないことは私が一番よく知っています。
Her decisive response brought Kyousuke to a
あな
frenzy.
ただけです。私にはあなたしかいないんです。
Kyousuke cursed. He cursed the heavens. He cursed God's whims. He cursed the devil's cruelty. He just couldn't stay calm unless he rebuked something, anything responsible for the fate of deprived, star-crushed children. It was only the miserable realization that had no condemnation that could alter the truth before that brought him back to reality and dropped him into the pit of despair. A murderer's daughter spoke once again.
お父さん、頭撫でて。
A murderer's grandchild saw Kyousuke's cold hand. An unknown force pulled at his arm. Her hair was soft. He touched the child's head. He actually did it. Suddenly, as Kyousuke was afflicted with strife, that's your daughter, not your granddaughter, right? No, she's not. He can't turn this girl is the daughter of a murderer.
もういいんだよ。
Haru's voice was misted with tears. Kyousuke's head was misted with tears. Cut it out. You're wrong. She's not my...
泣いていいんだよ。
She's not
お
my...
疲れ様。
She's, His subdued sobbing prevented any further words. The hand resting on the child's head froze in place, like it was stuck
ま
there.
た一からやり直そう。今度は3人だよ。ね。京介くん。
Kyousuke's expression was torn by sadness. Gah, the madman cried. It was the howling of the beast within him which once tried to sever the chains of revenge.
お父さん、ずっと一緒だよ。お母さんもいるよ。私ピアノしてるんだ。ねえ、見て、聞いて。
She smiled, inviting him to happiness. Her bright voice lingered in his ears. The way she said the word daddy caused his heart to waver. His eye Kyousuke wept. After coming face to face with such a pure angel at the end of his life fraught with demons, there was nothing else he could do. And then, when Haru told him the name of his daughter, the powdery snow suddenly came to a halt, almost as if it were a harbinger for an earlier spring. Kyousuke's daughter. All done. Oh, just wonderful. I loved it. This is a very creative story for sure. And that's the thing that I like the most. I like a lot of the things, a lot of content they had in it, for sure. Okay. Bye.